Personal story segment tonight, a new film called God Is Not Dead, and its star, Kevin Sorbo. Movie opened at a few theaters last week, was a huge hit. Today it expands across the country. Film's premise is summed up by this clip.
I'm Professor Radisson. This is Philosophy 150. I would like to bypass senseless debate altogether and jump to the conclusion, which every sophomore is already aware of: there is no God. All that I require from each of you is that you fill in the papers I've just given you with three little words: God is dead.
And joining us from Los Angeles is Mr. Sorbo. So why should I see this flick? What am I going to get out of this?
You know what? Every movie creates controversy, and certainly this movie will as well. And what you're doing is you're getting the scientific viewpoint from an atheist, but you're also getting the scientific viewpoint from the Christians. And it's like a miniature faith-based movie in a way, when like Crash. Remember the movie Crash about 10, 12 years ago, won the best picture?
Yep.
It's got 5 different stories in it that come together at the very end. But this story of my battle with this freshman student who wants to prove God to me in my class is obviously the anchor of the story.
All right, so you play the atheist professor, and the student, the younger actor, he plays the person who doesn't, who wants to promote a belief in God. Okay, that's interesting because that goes against type, because in your real life, you are a believer, correct?
I am a believer, there's no question. I know it's shocking for people to find out that there are actually atheists in our universities, but yes, there are. And what's great at the end of this movie, there's 37 cases that they show with the university and the student that people can freeze frame when they get the DVD, and they can go check it out online for themselves.
No, there's no doubt. I mean, you know, we've been reporting that for years, that academia is rife with secularism and anti-religious sentiment. Now, when you're involved with this movie not as an actor, but you're involved with the production and everything else. Did you get resistance in Hollywood from this film, for this film?
You know, it's not really resistance from this particular film. I've been getting resistance for a long time from it. My manager has told me many times that for me standing up from my political points of view and coming on shows like yours, and I've been on Hannity and things, and where it's a backlash to me. And I've noticed this year, I don't know, there were probably 50, 60 different pilots between all the cable and all the networks. I read for one. I got in to read for one. I used to read for 10, 12 a year. Look, I had Hercules. It was the most watched TV show in the world for 7 years. I had Andromeda, 5-year hit, #1 syndicated show in America. And then I've done about 50 movies since then, but most of them are in that smaller, independent world, which is fine. You know, Hollywood owes me nothing. I've been very fortunate. There are many actors that would love to have the career I've had. But do I see a kickback from it? And have I heard the hatred and the anger comes back towards me for actually having a differing point of view in a city that claims tolerance? Yeah, it's definitely come back to bite me.
Okay, but it isn't that you are that right-wing. I mean, I don't think. I'm not seeing anything really crazy here. You vote for both Democrats and Republicans. You are not evangelizing or proselytizing.
No.
So what is it?
Not at all.
What is it that you do that has annoyed the Hollywood chieftains?
Well, Bill, I think you know this. I mean, you've heard it from many other actors, and you know, from the John Voights out there, and Kelsey Grammer's, the kickback that they even receive, and they're big stars. You know, even if you're an independent voter, I mean, I am definitely a guy I'm not sitting on the fence, but I'll look at both sides. I vote with my heart, my mind, my gut. I actually look at people, weigh the pros and cons, who's going to be best for this country. But so many people, especially in this industry, they vote with anger, they vote maybe out of fear, they vote with just, you know, people outside the industry vote for who's going to give me more stuff. I mean, you know that. You
all
report
right, so
this
if you're
stuff all
not
the time.
cheerleading for the Democratic Party or the liberal point of view, if you're not actively cheerleading, then your opportunities are cut down. And I believe that. I think you're absolutely right. I mean, look, I'm in the same business you're in now as a producer. Luckily, we have a very, very good system for my books. And then, but we've had, you know, discussions with other people, big name stars. And you know, I know I'm not going to name them now, but believe me, I could at any moment. And you know who you are.
I'm a big name star. I'm a big name star in my mind. But anyway, speaking of books, you're talking about God. I got to push this. I'm going to push this. It's my wife's book, Proving the Existence of God. It's called The Answer. So check it out. And this goes hand in hand with this movie right here, to prove the existence of God.
Okay. Now let me just wrap up my thought. When a person in Hollywood, certain people, all right, hear that it's business with me, all right, they don't want to do that because their cocktail party invitations decline. It's a social thing as much as an ideological thing. But with you, I think it's crazy because you're just not a nutty kind of guy. and you're not that far out there. So what's the name of your wife's book again, just so you're happy when you go? Because I don't want Hercules mad at me. Go ahead.
It is called The Answer.
The Answer.
It's
Okay.
called The Answer. Proof of God in Heaven. Please check it out.
And the movie
but you know
is?
What? I don't get invited as many things as I used to, and that part is true. But you know
But
what?
you're lucky.
Like I said, Hollywood
you're
owes me
better off.
nothing. I've been very fortunate.
All right. The movie is God, not dead, Mr. Sorbo. Thank you. We come right back.